a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
There's a horse, some men ride up and shoot it. What an intro. What a fun movie already. We jump ahead in time, and Pop and his boys are watching one absolute legend corral hundreds of horses to the river to drink, all by himself. The men are talking, and, okay, you know, I love VHS. I'm all about it. I don't care about video quality. I love grainy movies all day, every day. But when it comes to audio, on some of these old VHS tapes, I have no idea what these people are saying. VHS audio is always a little muffled and muddy, but with their cowboy drawl and Australian accents, there was like an entire 3 minutes of dialogue, and I swear, this isn't a bit. All I could make out was that one of the guys was asking if he's gonna breed them, and then started talking about someone named Jessica. Like, are they gonna breed Jessica? We go to the opening credits, and it's a montage of horses running. I assume they're trying to get to Snowy River, folks. This handsome guy gets to some barn, and another handsome guy pulls a gun on him, and he says, "What you after, Zeb? Rabbits or something bigger? Why the gun, pollygagging? Stealing cattle? Nah, mate. Some of the bigwigs found out about us." I quit. I can't do this. This guy looks like Kiefer Sutherland from Lost Boys if you ordered him off of Wish, and like, no shade. Are these two guys lovers? I'm going to assume being a Disney movie pre-2018, it's not. But there's some crazy flirting between these two. They must have just had like natural chemistry, because suddenly we cut to the hot girl arriving, and some guy's like, "I sense you've been riding horses again." She says she's faster than his jockey. He asks, "Where is my jockey?" And they say, "Well, your jockey gained a bunch of weight, and now he's too fat for the horse, so he's trying to lose weight." And then he tells her to go change it to something more feminine, because they're having guests. Okay, that's her dad. He's like, "You're going to have to figure this all out before you take this whole operation over." And she goes, "Take it over? I thought I was supposed to show some leg and snare a husband." What is happening? Is this the Jessica? Those other two were talking about breeding. We jump to some hoity-toity white person horse gathering, and we meet some rich guy who comes down and buys the best horses around. Someone calls him, quote, "an interesting man." I would disagree. They talk about Jessica's dad as soon as he walks away. Jessica is out with the horse, and the dad says, "Let the jockey do all this." And the dad goes, "Where is my fat jockey?" And Tubby shows up, and they have a skills contest. The horse rounder is Jim Craig. And now he's in the face of some rich, pompous rider who's infatuated with his Jessica. It's like a love triangle as they return to Snowy River. There's another contest, and the fat jockey can't be found again, so Jessica rides, and of course she's incredible. And it's like being caught in a meat grinder, and I have no idea why I wrote that. Did someone say that? Was that a joke I made while watching, and now I don't get the reference? Forget the meat grinder thing. The two men bicker over Jessica, and Dad is like, "Go get changed, girl. We have to return to Snowy River." He doesn't say that. I just like, this has got to happen at some point. There's some dark shenanigans going on between the dad and some like banker. I think that's the dad of the rich guy, Alistair, who wants to tame his daughter, Jessica. It's like the two dads are talking about their kids possibly hooking up and how that's in everyone's best interest. We got a foggy horseback riding montage, lots of scenery shots, dramatic music, top marks for the score of this movie. We see the handsome guy, Jim, building a fence in the rain, and it's just about the manliest thing I've ever seen, until he walks into frame with Jessica and he holds her tight, and she's all about the house he built with his bare hands, but it's just a daydream, and Jim is off to take whatever the old-timey version of a cold shower was. He rides into town, there's playful music that turns into like playful banjo-picking music. Everyone's laughing at some bumbler building a church, and the priest scolds the crowd. Handsome Jim gives the guy his tithe. He mentions that he was from this town before when this place used to be just a mine, and the priest says that the guy who owned the land died, and when they buried him, they found the mother lode. Priest says, too bad these men don't dig into their own pockets as deep when it comes to offering. We're back to the analog and the funny accents, and I swear it's all pops and whistles to me. I can't understand any of this. One guy at the bar says, I reckon if you don't stir the pot, it won't bite ya. I don't think that's how the saying goes. We have piano music, and we hold on a shot of Jessica from like the shoulder to the top of her head for like 90 seconds before it pulls out and reveals she's actually playing the piano. That was weird. Dad comes in to talk to her. He's like, you're pining away over that drifter, and you're wasting your time. Dad's trying to play Cupid to get her to marry the rich guy's kid, so he can get like a lower interest rate while giving the banker's kid a raise. Dad says he's tired about hearing the drifter. Jessica says, I'm not. The next day, Jim wants to, quote, check into an old friend. He's in town. He looks out the window and he sees Jessica just like wandering aimlessly, and he runs out to talk to her, and he's like, let's go for a walk in the woods, kid. Girl, bad decisions. She wants to know why, he waited so long to come back. Hey, they're secret lovers. She was waiting for him to build this house and return to come get her so they could live together in this like off-the-grid little house. Sounds to me like they need to return to Snowy River. And she's like, they made plans for me to marry the rich guy Alistair Patton, but I'm not going to do it. But I kind of have to. But if I break this agreement, everyone in this town will come after you and turn on you, Jim. This feels very like Hallmark movie-ish. They come out of the woods together and everyone does like whatever an old-timey spit take is, seeing these two together, because that's not who she's supposed to be with. She sends her dad a letter that says, like, I bounced with the drifter, don't be mad. But it looks like she didn't go after all, because Jim is distraught that she left as well, and the townspeople are like, Jim, leave things as they be. And now her dad and his flunkies are like chasing his own daughter, and it's a horse race. I'm very confused. Jim intercepts her though in the woods and is like, you thought about your father, and you thought about me and everyone else, but what do you want, Jessica? And she says, I want you. And they start just like macking on each other just as dad shows up. And he's like, Jessica, daughter, are you coming with me or not? Either come with me now or stay here with him. She says she loves them both and says, don't make me choose. And he says, choose, Jessica. And she chooses Jim. And he goes, all right, you're just like your mother. Montage of the lovers riding horses, riding each other. When the are we going to return to Snowy River? Alistair, rich boy, strolls into town, asks the female bartender what she's gotten. She goes, I've got everything. Again, whatever the old-timey version of a cold shower is, this gal also needs that. Alistair's wearing a suit in this old-timey town, so you know he's the bad guy around these parts. He's got a plan. We jump to, there's a knock at the door of the happy couple living off the grid. It's Harry. Harry's looking to buy horses. He wants to buy their horses. He wants to buy all their horses. Jim says he can guarantee 100 horses a year, but this Harry guy, he's a stickler. He wants quality horses. Jim goes, I can get you quality horses, but it'll take a lot of cooperation from all the people in the area. And then Jess tells Harry all flirly, Jim is real good at being persuasive and getting what he wants. What kind of freaky shit is Jim into, girl? That night, Jim and Jessica start kissing again, and my daughter says, smoochy, smoochy, and like, forget Snowy River. These two need to return to cold shower. And Kate, I am going to get that cold shower joke to properly land yet. I swear, I promise. That's like over 3. Alistair says we need to crush this guy and his horse farm, and some other guy goes, what's your real motive? It's Jessica, isn't it? Alistair rounds up a posse to go get his They ride horses into the forest at night. They think they hear something, and then this bumbler guy falls off his horse, and everyone laughs. And then a horse stampede emerges out of the forest, and there's like some magnificent black horse, and he tramples the loser on the ground to death. The next morning, the couple walk outside, and there's like 4 men on horseback saying that Alistair and his men ran into your black stallion last night, and Kai is dead. Quote, now those rich bastards have another stick to beat us with, end quote, says the mob. He says it's Jessica's fault. She needs to go back home and marry Alistair, and Jim needs to shoot that stallion, or they will. That's a fun way to wake up, right? This angry mob. And Jessica, like, it must be so tough being this beautiful, right? Just everyone in the town going to war over your beauty. Don't let your beauty tear this town apart, Jessica. We get to the man's got to do what a man's got to do part of this movie, and our hero rides away with his own shotgun. He tracks down the black horse, and he cocks his shotgun, and Jim needs some glue apparently. He hesitates and hesitates. He can't do it. The bad guy buys off the other rugged cowboy. I think it was that Harry Horse buyer guy. I'm lost. It was all VHS analog and quiet Australian accents this part. Jim gets back to his house and Jessica's gone. But his close friend is there. Nothing suspicious about that. Ladies, when your husband comes home and you're with another man, he is supposed to hide, not you, girl. Dad's getting squeezed by the Patton Sr. and he's like, your daughter is and no dad wants to hear that. Jim comes to town looking for Jessica and she's at the bar getting wasted and is like, hey, lover boy, just day drinking over here. You kill that horse or what? And he's like, which answer is going to get you hot, girl? Just kidding, because it doesn't matter with Jessica. Both answers are fine. Now the blonde guy that is totally not having sex with Jessica got trampled and beat up by the angry posse, and that just makes Cowboy Jim even more pissed. Jim goes home and dramatically saddles up a brown horse. Not sure why he doesn't ride that black horse of death into town and just kick everyone's I swear we get a country version of the Star Wars riff over this scene. And now Jim is pissed and he's racing just dramatically straight into, I have no idea where he's going, but this is dramatic as all hell, okay? He finally makes his dramatic entrance, and the rich boy shoots his horse, and that ends the slow motion dramatic music montage real quick. The bad guys all agree that Jim is dead without even looking for the body, of course, but he's not dead, and of course the storm wakes him up, and he realizes what happened, and he runs over to his dead brown horse. Okay, main horse is dead. And again, this is a slowed down, sad country version of the Star Wars theme. I swear it is. He cries and he overreacts and he pulls his hair like Edge. He's washing his face and he doesn't have a horse and all is lost. But then that black maniac shows up and let's go. We got some rich bitches to trample. He starts talking to the horse. All right, be still, don't move. I'm gonna touch you now. You know that's his pillow talk with Jessica as well. Gotta be quicker. He calms the black horse down, his giddy up, saddle up. This is the exact moment I'm suddenly invested in this movie. He tears through the forest with his black stallion, and he runs into a wall of horseback riders, including the white stallion, Jessica, and her dad and a bunch of other men. They're like, let's go! They actually yell, let's go! They use the 2022 battle cry in this movie from 1988, and the rich guy and his posse are just chilling on the other side of the forest. They have no idea what's coming. The cavalry arrive, and it's a horse chase, which is too bad, because I wanted the good guys to just circle the bad guys and stomp them to death like in Game of Thrones. It ends up in a fist fight between Jack and Alistair, and then, gee, you guys. This is a Tarantino film. Then he's just so proud of himself, and I would be too. That was the most ass kicked at once in the history of Disney movies. Alistair turns his head back around and he tries to sneak up on Jack for the kill, but Black Horse clip-clops all over the rich guy's face, and Jim is like, nah, don't get your hooves dirty with this one. Slow fade into the future. Black Horse runs off alive. Jim goes back to Jessica, and they have their dad's blessing, and they ride off together. The end. I guess here's where they return to Snowy River. But can I see that fight scene again? Oh my god. That is something.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism